What is going on, Cuse Nation? Welcome to yet another edition of Orange Cheerlead. My name's Giovanni Heater, as always, and thank you for joining me. We're here today for episode 3 of our 3-part edition on Syracuse basketball recruiting. I'm joined today once again by Tommy Wildhack and Austin Alberici. Now, diving in today for the third installment of our 3-part series, we're talking about the 2022 Syracuse basketball recruiting class. Now, this class is very, very exciting on paper, and it's kind of one of those things. These guys are younger than us. These guys are still sophomores in high school. So, again, a huge, big, fat question mark here. But once again, exciting because Dior Johnson verbally committed. Tommy Wildhack, what are your thoughts on this class before we talk names? Just in general, what should we be looking for?
I mean, this has the chance to be, one of the best recruiting classes in program history. And, when you got a guy who's your highest ranked recruit since Carmelo Anthony, you got to give him some tools so you can go out and win a championship like Melo did.
Absolutely. Austin, your thoughts on the 2022 class?
He's blown up all over social media. Every college head coach would want a guy like this, He's the most talented point guard in the nation, and he's only getting better. He's only a sophomore. Can you believe that? And he has room to grow and stuff. He has 8 schools already have offered him.
Yeah.
But, he already committed to Syracuse, so that means he's on with Syracuse. And he's going to Oak Hill, so that means he's going to be joining up with Zion Cruz, another Syracuse recruiter, and he's following Syracuse legend Carmelo Anthony. Same steps, Oak Hill to Syracuse. And, he could go G League. He could go, if the rule changes, he could go to the NBA, but that's another talk,
So once again, he's talking about none other than 5-star recruit, ranked 12th nationally, number 1 at the point guard position in his class, height 6'3". He went to Mayfair High School, and as Austin mentioned, he's going to Oak Hill. That's Dior Johnson. Now, they're really building not only the 2022 class around him, but the 2021 class around him as well, all banking on that he's coming to Syracuse. Again, he committed, and I love what he had to say. He said, I don't want to go to these blue blood schools like North Carolina, of course, Duke, and Kentucky, and Kansas. He said, I want to be a big blue blood slayer, basically. He wants to be the school that takes down the blue bloods, make a name for Syracuse once again. That was definitely exciting to see. So this kid, one of the most exciting recruits Syracuse has had to look forward to in a very, very long time. My fear here is the G League direction. The G League came out with a statement earlier this week talking about giving guys more financial opportunities to come right out of high school and play in the developmental league. My fear is that he's going to take that route. We've already seen some top-name recruits take that route as of late. What are your thoughts on that?
It's really tough to predict now. I mean, the thing about Dior is the number 12 ranking is a joke. He's easily a top 5 player in his class.
And that'll come out when he goes to Oak Hill.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying, oh, he's going to decommit and go to Kentucky or Duke. I don't see him doing that. If he's going to go to college, I think it's going to be Syracuse. But, a lot of these guys who do go to the G League, they either want to make they want to make money off themselves, or they need the money right away. And I'm not sure what his situation is, but I believe he doesn't need, the money right away. And, he's going to be a top 5 pick. So he's going to be making plenty of money. And he said, even if he's allowed to go straight to the NBA, he kind of wants to go to college for a year.
Austin, what are your thoughts? You touched upon Dior Johnson a little bit, but can you go a little deeper?
He's friends with LeBron James. There's some guys out there that, I don't want to be mean, but they don't have the money, so they need to get it. That's their line. They're going right to the G League. They need a quick $500K before they go to the right. Dior, he has time. He can show off his talents in college and NCAA. try to win a national championship like Carmelo, carry the team, make a legacy at Syracuse, and then just go right to the NBA, make bank, and just win a finals there and just have his own legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing I like about him is he's tough. He doesn't back down from anything. And, he's not a super short guard. He's 6'3", not super tall either. So he's at that average point guard position height. Frank Howard a couple of years ago was a 6'5" guard. You don't have that with Dior, but he's making up for it in his speed, his ability. He can not only shoot the ball, he can drive on the inside. He's pretty much unstoppable. When you try and challenge him at the rim, he's going to find a way to score. So he's just an exciting player, and he could just captivate a court all around and captivate an audience. So we could talk about Dior Johnson all day. Clearly the biggest prospect on this list, but everybody knows about him. So let's dive deep into some of the other options Syracuse is looking at, because Dior is already committed right now, which is very exciting. And the thing that's cool about Dior is he's trying to get other guys in, similar to what Joe Girard did, but on an even deeper level. Dior is very active on the social media, trying to pull other guys in. So looking at the 2022 offers, that was our only commit for this season. Looking at the offers, let's start out with Chance Westry. Chance Westry, a 4.5-star recruit, ranked 25th, number 8 overall at the shooting guard position, 6'4", so decent height there for a shooting guard once again. And he's from Trinity High School, which is a high school that sort of started to make a name for themselves as far as dishing out prospects go. Now, Chance is a shooting guard that has he can really take it off the bounce, which he can take it off the dribble, which I'm excited about, but he's going to be very good for the 2-3 zone defensively. Again, he's long, he's tall, and he plays tough defense. His last 5 crystal ball predictions have him 100% going to Syracuse. Again, this is 3 years down the road now, so we don't know, but certainly exciting to see, and that's a good sign. Dior said that he'd bring players with him, and one of those players he included was Chance Westry. So what do you guys think about this kid?
He's my favorite really good player overall, I think. he sorry, but he is. Over Dior, like Dior and him are kind of the same, but Chance Westry he could lead the team with Dior, They're good friends. Yeah. Dior wants him there. He had a knee injury last season, but I think that's taken care of, and he brought his team that doesn't have a lot of people to like one of a state championship, and I think that's really good, and he could help that Syracuse zone and could help that offense.
Yeah.
Tommy, what are your thoughts on him?
I mean, how many kids do you know when they were freshmen scored 40 points in their state championship? I mean, you know right away that's legit. And, you look at these kids like Dior and Chance, they're sophomores. They got plenty of time to grow, Dior could develop into, a 6'5", big point guard. Chance could grow into that ideal 3 spot.
Very true.
I think that's, of all the guys in the 2022 class, that's the guy we want coming with Dior the most, because he's NBA level.
Absolutely. Now, talking about NBA level, though, you got another 5-star here, and that's Zion Cruz. He's ranked 20th overall, number 5 at the guard position. That's according to 247 Sports. He's 6'3", and he's going to be joining Dior at Oak Hill Academy. Now, Oak Hill Academy, known for dishing out some very big top prospects, not only in college, but in the NBA as well. And on that list are guys like Carmelo Anthony and Eric Devendorf on that list. So an elite class Billy Edelin. So a lot of Syracuse players kind of have a little bit of a history with Oak Hill as well, which is something exciting to look at. Now, Zion Cruz. This kid is very talented. Of course, every guy on this list is going to be very talented. What are your guys' thoughts on him?
I mean, yeah, he's as good as it gets. It's really tough to predict what we're going to look at from a guard standpoint in 2022. Will Joe and Kaderi still be here? Will we pick up a 21 guard? I don't know, but he would definitely be a player we'd love to come right in. Maybe he grows into a 3. We don't know. But again, all the big schools are going to be after him. So our best bet is that, he wants to come play with his best friend in college. And
Now-
that's pretty good when, his best friends come to your team.
Absolutely. And that again, we talked about Dior pulling guys. Now, if you had to pick, you already have Dior. Who do you want that two-guard position to be? Do you want Zion to come, or do you want Kadary if you had to pick one?
I mean, I'd rather have Kadary because at the end of the day, you need experience. You can't win a championship without experience. And, I would love to see, maybe him, Kadary, and Chance develop into a 3. And then, Benny at the 4, Mac at the 5. That's a championship team right there.
Right. And Kadary coming in this year. So like you talked about the experience, at that point, Joe Girard will be Joe Girard's senior season. So you're still going to have, Buddy will be gone, but you'll still have Joe for a year. So Joe's going to be running the point guard. You're going to have Kadary at shooting guard. Okay, so let me ask you this. If you had to pick, do you want Zion Cruz or Chance Westry?
Oh, that's tough. But
I would rather have Chance because just watching both of them, I feel Chance could more likely develop into a 3 spot. And I think we're going to need a small forward. And, Joe had a pretty good freshman year. Maybe he'll leave after 3 years. Alan Griffin, maybe he likes to play the 2 more. And, maybe I don't know what Woody and Quincy will be, if they'll be here or not, but they might affect, Chance or Max or Benny's decision.
Sure.
So, we really don't know.
And that's the crazy thing about this is it's 3 years down the road and we really don't know. Austin, what do you think?
We could have transfers. We could have people coming in, coming out. You don't know. But Zion, we have a lot of guards for 2022 are coming out. If one commits, another might not. So time just tells, you don't know.
So you're not going to get Chance and Zion.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be one or the other. And
if either.
If JG3 stays, like what is going to do? What's going to happen with Dior? That's what I'm most concerned about. Are they both going to play?
Well, you got to let them both be combo guards.
Either that, or I think you move.
But does Dior want to be like that? That's what I'm saying. It's Dior. Like he's in or he's out. Yeah. Like he's coming here for one reason.
I could definitely see Joe moving to a 2.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Joe could pull a Jerry McNamara and move to the 2 all day.
It's possible.
And I get he's a great passer and he was a quarterback and he likes to run the show. But I mean, Joe wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And he's a pure shooter.
If whoever the coaches says you're going to play the 2 and you're going to dominate the 2, Joe's going to say, I'm in, because he wants to win.
Right. And Dior's not going to he's not going to come if he's not going to start.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's there for one priority. Start at point guard or whatever, and he wants to win a championship, play at Syracuse, make his legacy, and get out. That's what
I'm thinking of. What I think of this kid is kind of like Cole Anthony at North Carolina. The center of the team, the one guy, the freshman, just comes out, drops 40 in his first game.
Everybody knows he's going to leave.
Have a successful season, but that's because Cole Anthony was injured pretty much the entire year. That's really what I see Dior being. So, yeah, he's going to have to start. Otherwise, he's not going to come. So that's why I say Joe's going to move to the 2. And what that means for Kadary, I don't know.
There's so many questions out there.
Right.
Maybe he develops into a 3. Maybe he transfers. Maybe he's so good he's ready to go. Maybe he's okay with coming off the bench. There's so many possibilities.
But I do know this. You can't keep Dior off the floor if he comes.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, you're going to play 38 minutes a game.
Yeah, 38 probably. Yeah.
Of course. All right, so now looking at down the list a little bit further, you have Donovan Clingan. Now, he right now doesn't really have any ratings. Again, a guy that we don't know a ton about, but he's 7'1". Obviously, that stands out right from the get-go. He's from Bristol Central. He dropped 37 points this season, 28 boards, 10 blocks in his state tournament. That's all over the stretch of a couple of weeks. Ratings don't really matter at this.
That's one game.
That's one game?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
The rest got canceled.
It was all over ESPN, and I think that's how he got out there pretty much.
28 boards in one game?
Yep, and 37 points
Wow.
and 10
And
blocks.
right, because the rest of it got canceled. That makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
10 blocks in one game is crazy.
And he's not like super lanky either, unlike like a guy like Pascal in his first couple of years. He's
He's a little bit. What my friends, you know, who know him, what they said is the key for him is to put on muscle. If he puts on muscle, he can be a dominant NBA center.
Yeah, because
Okay.
isn't he playing? He's not playing against the big elite players out there.
Oh yeah. He's still at his local high school, I believe.
Yeah,
He's
that's
not at a prep
his
center.
mom
Yeah.
made a legacy there, so I think he's staying there to make a legacy for himself too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard.
But he's not as scrawny as like a Jesse Edwards. He's a little bit bigger than that. Jesse
He's
Edwards,
big, yeah. He's physical.
right? Yes, and that's what you like. He doesn't shy away from anything. So, obviously that would be a big get, but at the same time, I don't know how big of a get that would be if you have a guy like ETN commit the year before that. So again,
But I think Donovan would be a 4-year player, and he would be a guy who you don't look for him to make an impact on 2022, but just in the future, because, you know, his junior and senior year, he can be an excellent player.
that's right. Kind of like a Sidibe. Didn't make a huge splash until this season. So the one guy I want to talk about, though, big time, because he's from around here, from Baldwinsville, that's J.J. Starling. What are your guys' thoughts on him? I got to watch him play. I was stadium announcing for the CNS versus Beeville home game. The kid's electric. I mean, he was a man amongst boys, and he completely took the game over. He's phenomenal. What are your thoughts?
I mean, you know, he's really, really good, and he's racked up offers from a lot of good schools. You know, Washington.
Yep,
'cause
Mike Hopkins.
He knew Hop, and Nate Oates, who's, you know, from New York, down in Alabama. He offered him too. So
Providence as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be really tough to get him because, you know, unless he plans on being a 4-year player and, you know, not playing much his freshman year because of how guard heavy will likely be.
Right.
I don't really know what he wants though, if he's okay with not playing much his freshman year. But he's a guy you would love to have come in, you know, maybe redshirt his freshman year and then, you know, hand him the reins for the future.
Absolutely. Austin?
You know, he's going to rise in the ranks. He's not rated right now, as we can see, but a lot of my friends have been talking about it. He's a different elite from Dior Johnson.
Mhm.
Like, I don't want to be rude or anything, but, you know, Dior's next level, you know, he's got work to do. Like, I think he's got a lot of work to do. I don't really like him. He's on my list. He's really low on my list as recruiting wise because we have a lot of shooting guards and guards that we can go after that like Syracuse and are more into it. And I think I'm not really a big fan of J.J. Starling, but there's other people out there that like him.
Yeah, and the thing about him, it's just kind of like that hometown feel. And right now he played the last season at Baldwinsville as a sophomore, and you compared him to Dior. Dior's playing against, you know, a much higher level of talent. He was still playing at Baldwinsville,
Yeah,
playing
it's just
against
a different elite. That's
our high school, you know. And yeah, he dominated against our high school, but it's a different feel. But we'll see what happens when JJ actually hits the scene next season, because next season he's going to be transferring to a prep school, most
Brewster.
likely. So
he's going to Brewster. He just made it official. He's going to be playing at Brewster.
There you go. He's going to play at Brewster, same school that Kadari Richmond is at right now, same school that Buddy Boeheim went to.
son's going there, Zaire Wade.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
You know,
that's crazy.
That school
recruited
produces
him.
That school produces a lot of excellent players, you know.
And that's kind of new to the scene.
Yeah. And to your point, we're going to see, you know, how good this guy really is.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that's kind of all we got for the 2021 recruiting class. Do we want to talk a little bit about the NCAA allowing players to make money now coming into effect when these kids come and play in the 2021-2022 season?
They're trying to. I heard today, like, some info came out that they're trying to change the rule of making profit in the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to attract more college players, elite players. But, you know, the G League's taking over. NCAA is trying to solve that problem. They should be scared, I think. NCAA should be scared at this point. They need to They need to make changes quick because we already have 4 out of I think 8 players. Half of the players they've offered over $500K or $300K have gone.
Yeah.
And the other 4 that didn't, like they just want to make legacies because they have a line to that school somehow.
Yeah,
their parents
use
went
Greg
there.
Brown as an example.
Yeah,
his
Greg
dad
Brown.
played at Texas, so he knew. He's from Austin. You knew he was going to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The problem though is the NCAA, just because they say we're going to try and let players make money, it's going to be very difficult to do that, and it's a long process. And Chris Mack, the Louisville coach, he tweeted out, for every Jalen Green, there's an Obi Toppin. And he's right. But don't you want to see a Jalen Green going against an Obi Toppin in March?
Right.
That's kind of the whole point.
You want to see the low, really elite players play against the elite players to see who can win that battle.
Yeah, no matter what, the whole G League scene is changing college basketball right now.
And it's been, a month?
Yeah.
And it's taken over the NCAA, and NCAA's been – I've seen some talk, but there's been little talk about it, and I think they need to make changes quick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And NCAA goes downhill.
Predict right now for me, on a real level, is Dior coming to Syracuse? Because if I had to make my pick, I don't think he's coming.
I think he is.
Tommy?
Yeah, I think he is too, because
he told people, like, I'm bringing people here.
So did Darius Baisley.
He said he was bringing people here?
But Darius Baisley was I want to come. I want to beat the Blue Bloods. I don't want to go to Duke. I don't want to this, that. Like, Darius Baisley was set on Syracuse, and then all of a sudden he had the opportunity to
Dior, they've been recruiting him since 7th grade.
Yep.
He's had that line with this. He FaceTimes Alan Griffin, like, every week. I've seen that.
Yeah.
The coach Alan Griffin or the recruit?
Alan Griffin.
Yeah, the coach. Okay.
And,
so
you bring up a good point about Baisley, but, Baisley, he needed the money right away.
Yeah.
And Dior said he'd rather go to Syracuse for a year than play in the NBA right away.
Right.
So I would
He's going to make his money. Everybody knows it.
I'd assume, if you'd rather go to Syracuse for a year than the NBA right away, I'm sure that'd be the same for the G League. But also, like, if I'm the G League, do I feel bad that, I'm rooting college basketball? No. Not a whole lot of people watch or go to the G League. This is their opportunity to really blow up. So they're going to be very competitive and make it very hard for college basketball to, keep these top players.
That's why I think NCAA needs to make a big change.
Do you think what's more likely? Dior doesn't go to Syracuse because A, he goes to the G League, or B, he goes to a different blue blood style school.
No, I think it's
G League.
Yeah, I don't even think it's G League. I think it's only if the rule changes where he can go right to the NBA.
Right.
I don't think he's going to the G League.
He said he'd probably rather go to Syracuse for a year than straight to the NBA.
I know, but he's a sophomore. So much can change. And just think about your mindset a year ago as a person. Like, things change. It's so crazy.
But so is another visit to a big Syracuse game.
Fair enough.
I think it's big. I don't know. G League, I don't think that's in his mindset. I think he did post about the G League because, like, all his bros are going there. But look at Greg Brown.
He also posted about the NCAA allowing money.
Didn't he take down all his Syracuse stuff off of Instagram?
He retweeted, or he tweeted and said, "Don't get offended because of this. Like, I just don't want it all over." But he put it in his Twitter bio that he's a Syracuse men's basketball, and he put it in his highlights and as an edit.
Yeah, he has some on his Instagram too.
It's not all about social media.
Yeah. You can't overreact about that. But I'll admit, when he did post he was committed to Syracuse, it's pretty cool to see LeBron James saying, "Congrats, nephew."
That was definitely very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. I think that's the perfect way to wrap it up. Again, this whole class, 2022, a huge question mark at this point. Who knows who's going to be at Syracuse? Still at that point, who's going to be gone? What's going to happen if we're going to have to get grad transfers? Like, who else is going to be on the table? We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen.
There's going to be big names who we have no idea about right now.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
And the exciting thing is, though, like we talked about in episode 1, for the first time in a very long time, Syracuse is kind of back in the conversation of this top-level talent. And that's with names like Zion Cruz and Dior Johnson and all the guys we talked about. So no matter how you put it, it's exciting, and it's an exciting time to be a Syracuse Orange fan. So we just have to buckle up, maybe wait a couple more seasons until we're consistently ranked every week. You know,
Be worried about 2021. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's what we got to worry about.
But right now,
Let's
have
focus
tunnel
on next
vision
season.
and focus on Joe Girard leading this team next season in 2020 and seeing
Quincy
guys like
Griffin.
Kadary Richmond live in action with Woody Newton. I'm excited, guys. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys, you know, I kind of used you as the analyst because, quite frankly, I've never been super into the recruiting game. It's kind of after Darius Baisley didn't come to Syracuse, I was just kind of like, I don't believe it until I see him in the Carrier Dome live in person, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of tough, but you guys follow it a lot. You guys are very involved with it. So, again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you to all the Cuse fans watching out there. Appreciate the support. Go hit the Twitter at GeoHeater. Go hit the Instagram at Giovanni Heater. The Facebook page. Go find Austin Alberici and Tommy Wildhack out there. They put out some good content once in a while about recruiting and being at games and whatnot. They're big Cuse fans, of course. Please like, comment, and subscribe as always, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us, and let's go Orange, baby. Woo!